So May Reaper versus May Reaper. If I'm remembering this correctly, Nyxel they get point first, but then they play passive. Okay, so they set up on point. Orb. Also, because there's no hog, you don't have to use Fortify early as Orisa. But then you have Siumisu from the back. Oh, guys, watch this. So Siumisu goes in, sure. He goes on Anemo. Then we have Nenny turning around. He probably hears him. That's called out. Then we have Libero. Afterwards we have Mano. Then we have Meko. Jonak is the last one to look around, turn around, I mean. And he has a healing orb as well. Not that it really matters, but I find it funny that Jonak is the last one to turn around. So that would be... let's see. No, we can't see who is target calling. They're kind of panicking. Look at where Jonak is. And he uses a very, how does a selfish healing orb here. I think they don't know how to rotate. Individually. Anemo dies, that's orbed. I think it was an orb. Yeah. And it's all because of this TP. Everyone just turning around. Mano booped. Then he tried to play for shield, but he couldn't get out. Fortify, can't get out. And there's no heals because Moira's on the other side of the point. So obviously, it's difficult to stay alive. Oh, and that wasn't an orb. Anemo tried to boop here, but there's a Fortify. And then he simply dies. Oh. It wasn't only Fortify, but he tried to boop for the Mei. Or boop the Mei. Let's see here. Mano goes forward. Oh yeah, team is dead already. This is really, really important to point out too. The shield from Mano. Alright, so this shield. This is not an aggressive shield. You don't push forward with this. Well, you can, but you don't, how to say, you don't really shield kite easily. And while he's going forward, there's a Reaper in the backline. I don't think the players know how to play these heroes. Like, sure, they know how to use the abilities and all. Like, it's pretty easy to play Moira, but it's very hard to make her optimal, or how to say, to get the most out of her. Okay, let's see what's happening. TP from behind. No one scouting it so far. Absolutely no one. You have a simultaneous TP from Siumisu. Reaper goes in. Doesn't finish off. Oh, he was also matrixed. That's a great bomb. That's gonna kill this. That's gonna kill Nani for sure. Yep. Then you lose mech too. And the issue is that the Reaper was disengaging when the bomb came in. So yeah, Nani matrixed. I don't think he has to waveform here. He can play for the pillar. He's just going waveform because he probably doesn't expect any support from teammates. And then because Mano is targeting up here, he's losing track of where the Mei is. Mei walks in for free. She's not even being pressured. And instead of walking backwards, you walk forward with this comp right now. That's what you should do. You don't walk backwards. Walking backwards is too defensive, you're gonna die as well. You see, Mano is doing the right thing, he's going forward. But since he's alone, or probably feels alone, he doesn't even... well, he does have to pop Fortify as a precautionary thing. Then Mano killed, didn't have shield, no Fortify. Good Mei ult. But Libero is dead, and it's also 60% by now. So if Nyxel doesn't win this fight and clean it up, that's a massive win for Titans already. Okay, there's the kill. There we go, nice. Alright, so Meko was orbed. He's fine. No one's scouting Reaper, by the way. Reaper is walking in for free. That's the tunnel vision of this team. Usually, you also do the Reaper ult with Diva Bomb. Here we go. There should be a Mei bomb. Oh, I mean Diva ult already. Like, you can wait as well if you want to eat the ult. Ah, he tried to eat, but bombed anyways. Okay. That's a defensive bomb. It's like in Goats with Grav. But yeah. Haxal's Mei ult zones. You avoid the bomb. And you kill off Animo. Then Reaper goes in again. And then he died, even though he had a waveform up. Actually, why did he go in? Oh, that's scouted. You see, immediately scouted because of the Lucia. So he's dead. He shouldn't even die there. He should waveform. Then Jonak dies. He should be backing in here, not be out on point. Meko dies. Yeah. I just think Nyxel doesn't know how to play this, to be honest. What's up, Cascada? It doesn't look like they're throwing. It's not match fixing or anything. It honestly looks like they simply don't know how to play. Or actually... Nah, I would rather say that they are trying to win, but mess up. Like here, Nene. He has to use Fade. He could forget using Fade. There's no Reaper scouted. Now he's scouted. You can clearly see when people notice him, since that's when they turn. Here. Libero is the first one. Now you have Anamo as well. What could he have done differently though? Okay, so Reaper went in to make space. Fade. Libero is looking for the Matrix as well, so that he can Mayalt. Oh yeah, he will die with Mayalt. No, he doesn't. He dies slightly after. Anyways, let's go next point. Okay, so Titans running Reaper May. Nyxel, Sombra Pharah. They probably assumed Titans would run Pharah Doomfist. This comp is still fine. Sombra is suboptimal versus the Reaper May, but it still works. It's suboptimal because you can't really make any significant damage from your EMP. Or quick enough at least. Then Meko dies, how? Okay, so with the Hog Orisa comp, you wanna find orb hooks. You wanna play distance. Now, Meko doesn't have to be this far up. He's just looking for a hook. Oh, he's just out of position. Completely. Yeah, it's a risk versus reward. You kill Bumper, and then he's dead. You're on point then. But Mano can't be outside like this. He has to force point somehow. Right, next fight. We have Barrage on point. This should be a cap. Yeah. It'll be a cap. There we go. One and a half rounds into the series and Nyx already look like they're not top tier anymore. Yeah, I think it's just strats. Strats, well, the strategy is fine. The strategy is, okay, we will use a crossfire, we will hack, we will hook, etc. Now they switch to Diva, and it's the tactics that suck. The way they carry out the strat. So EMP, countered by Mayalt and Beat. It's very interesting to see that Libero is not playing, how to say, above this thingy here. It's fine to play here, because otherwise point is just free. Actually, it makes sense that he's playing where he is. But he should be more aggressive, in my opinion. This is already kind of aggressive. However, the Mayalt stops him completely. This is just well done by Titans. Then chase and kill for Jonak. Ends up trading Bumper and Jonah for it. That's a nice barrage by Libero. Barraging right here. But Titans, they cap points, so... Like, what are you doing as Nyxel? Here's the barrage coming in. Watch this. Great kill on the baby diva. Then you just go in. You just do something. Big nade on Simisu. That's a super good fight for Nixel. For Titans, I mean. EMP again gets 2. And then you go to 79. Nice. Let's see the setup. So Jonik is ready for nades. You have Meko here ready for boops. Also scouting. Oh wait. So bomb was kind of obvious. People can hear him above as well. Okay, bomb comes out here. And when bomb, like if you're looking at Meko's perspective, you know that bomb will never... Well, bomb will be going like this, somewhere here, like this trajectory. It's going to be in front of this corner. It's not going to be close to point. So you can line of sight it behind this corner. Even if it goes straight up, you'll be fine here, so to say. So what do you do as Meko? Okay, you boost down and try to line of sight it, but he was orbed by Bumper, okay. Oh, so Bumper. 900 IQ saves him. No, this is just normal Risa stuff. And at the same time, Mano dies. Where does Mano die? Oh, over there. Oh, he's alone. And he's alone because he can't get healed by Anna. Anna has to avoid the bomb. And Mercy's on the other side of point. So yeah, he doesn't get any heals. What could Mano have done differently? Oh, I don't know what he could have done differently. Because he commits to this doorway. And he wants to stall point 2. Oh wait, actually he could have placed his shield differently. He placed his shield defensively. Super defensively. Actually, our really bad shield. Yeah, I have no idea about the shield. Cascada, thank you for the 5 months. The shield, I have no idea what it's supposed to do. Might have just been a panic shield. I want to go back a tiny bit. Oh, it could be to protect the bongos. But still. Oh, it's just panic shield. Definitely panic shield. It's just impossible to help him. Because of the bomb. He has to shield himself. Then Nanny switches to Doomfist in order to just find something. Animo is still a Mercy. Doomfist Pharah works. You can go for one-shots. Titans ran this comp quite a lot on Ilios. You touch point. Another shield. Crazy defensively. I just think these players... Like... It looks like they absolutely have no idea what to do, like what their role is supposed to do, what their hero is supposed to do in this comp when playing together. In ranked, it's a different thing, of course, but here just looks completely lost on many parts. Like they have to go for solo plays. They have some baseline idea of what to do, but it's the decision making during fights. Like they don't have the game sense, so to say. Wait, before we start this one, want to finish up the thought. So it looks like game sense is gone, and it doesn't look like they have set positions or anything during fights, or how to say, they don't have rotation set. This is easily coachable. Like this is easily coachable. However, even if it is easily coachable, the players still need the muscle memory. They still need to practice it, the drills, and the mindset of like how do you position as Orisa, for example, compared to Ryan, Ball, whatever. Crazy conspiracy. What if Nyxal sandbagging by having everyone on stage play heroes they are not scrimming with? No. Wouldn't be beneficial for them. I assume they don't need... And then he can do everything Flower can do. Maybe it's for practice time. What are your thoughts on Stitch this stage? Monty keeps saying that he isn't playing well, but from what I've seen, I think he's playing better than Shimizu. I haven't been watching Stitch this stage much, so I can't make a fair analysis, unfortunately. If I go back and watch some VODs of Stitch playing, then I can make the comparison. But right now, I think Shimizu is playing fine. He's making smart decisions on Reaper. He's going for the flanks. He's unnoticed. He's patient. I also think I think it's because he's better in scrims. That's how Titans usually field players. But also keep in mind, they have Rappel in, and with Rappel in, that could be a reason why Shimizu is in. Who knows? Communication, friendship, team synergy, just team chemistry, leadership. Who knows? Rappel is a younger player. All right, so we have a very weird comp by Titans. Mei Sombra on defense. And the reason they position on high ground is because you want to let enemies walk in a bit, but you want to have extremely defensive positioning. And yeah, you go for the EMPs, hacks. I think it's a counter for the Pharah, most likely. I assume they want to counter Doomfist. Now it just happens to be that Manu goes ball. You counter the ball. It's very little damage. That's why it's a bit weird. So Mano gets I don't know why he doesn't have a icon on him. That's a bug, but Mano is definitely bugged. Okay, so he gets killed. Oh, 1 second. There we go. My sound started sparking on my mixer. So now that you see Orisa with Mei, you can go in, but you're gonna get frozen immediately. So that's a freeze orb. Bumper was a bit slow on the orb, I think. You want to time the orb so that you suck him in and then keep the freeze up on high ground. And then you just shut down the Pharah. Make sure she doesn't get any good angles. Sumisu is slow on farming EMP here. Here's the re-engage. Hack does not come in. And how does a Rappel die? It is scouting, scouting, scouting. There's no hack. Oh, he hacked the wrong... Oh, he just targeting the wrong person. Oh. And then Rappel dies from direct hit. And if I'm not wrong here, the direct hit was intended to be on the Sombra. No, it wasn't actually. And he dies with fade up as well. Yeah, that's just a rookie mistake. Not reacting quick enough. But yeah, the hack should have been coming in earlier. Just mistake. Aiming wrong. Okay, Mano is back. Remake. Mano gets booped, by the way. Wow. Okay, Mano goes in. Oh, he used his hook, that's why. Oh no. Okay, so if we go to his perspective, we can see exactly. So the reason he gets booped out, like from the thingy here, is let's see, it's the tree, I think. It's the AI. Because I think it's because he's looking forward as well. Usually you have to turn around as well. Could also be that these railings block it. Just the AI on the... I think it's AI, yeah. AI on the ability. It's like this auto target. Jonah DMA'd and there's a Mayalt being used by Axel. Then Rappel dies again. How? How do you die so much, Rappel? Oh, he's just boarding out. Just take a look at his positioning here. His choice of angles. So what you could have done, Rappel, is walk coast and just fade over here and play here. Instead, he takes the long route, walks main, and now has a massive angle. What is he supposed to do here? Especially with damage orb. He has no business here. He almost gets slept too by Jonak. So Jonak misses, Rappel has no idea what's going on. And then he goes to heal, now fades. Ah, then he dies. Man, this dude is completely lost. Then Slime naded, tried to survive. Dude, Slime survives! Oh, unfortunate. If that beat would have gone off, that would have been fight winning for Tyrannus. That beat was the correct choice, I think. Even though, like, make him after him, of course. But he doesn't have time to think about the May, he just has to use beat or it's a fight reset. I think beat is viable. Then, in order to get value out of the EP, you wait for them to walk in. You engage. Lose 1 point, that's fine. You can also have Div on point. Ball is very inefficient on second point attack here. And that's because it's so difficult to just get in. Bumper killed. Then Jonah killed. And you have high ground here with Flower, that's really good. What is he shooting even? Oh. He's missing all the shots, isn't he? If it didn't drop, he would get the kill on Rappel too. There we go. He doesn't look very warmed up. And then instead of rolling into the May ult, you can roll to the side. But it's a... yeah, you can't really strafe that. Tyrants, they kinda... yeah, I think they get snowballed here because they just lack the damage from having Sombra May. Let's go next. That fade was unnecessary. I think because you use the fade, you have to delay the push a bit. Maybe. Not sure. So Flower kills Yumisu. Good scout. On the TP. That's a fine TP to do. I think you get hard countered by the Pharah if you play Reaper May. So this strategy is fine by Nuxel. Well, let's see here. They push in. Slime killed. Oh, Slime tried to go for the boop there. No, he didn't. He was just caught off. No, he did try to go for the boop. Yeah. And then killed. Hook. Okay. Let's go for second point. Oh wait, they never capped. I thought that was a fight over. Oh, Flower barraged. Oh. Okay, next fight. Orb into rockets. Neat damage. Okay, this is very, how to say, simple. You rotate to point. It's kind of risky because everyone's taking a wide angle. Very open. Then wall onto Mano. And Libero. So Mano didn't have a shield there. He was fortified, trying to dodge. Or dodge shot, he turned around also because of no headshots. Then he gets rest and this is fine. Good barrage. Yeah. Next fight. Mano alone. He can't leave that angle now. Or he can't leave that house. Actually he can. But it's gonna hurt him. The bongos was a bit unnecessary, I think. Maybe. It depends. Because you can use bongos, you can fight close. But you gotta spam the enemy's shields. I think the issue is Meko is not going close with him. And then you don't have orbs either. Yeah, this one is fine. So Libero, he couldn't shoot because of the wall. He can stand in the stairs here though and shoot through the window. That's a small thing he can do. What's up, Dynasty? That's a good hook on Haxel. A bit off-timed with the orb, but that's fine. Then you have Reaper above you. Did you go over the comp matchup yet? Yeah, I go over the comp matchup a bit. I try not to make it a theory lesson on its own because I'll focus more on the review of the replay rather than, how to say, theoretical stuff. Since, yeah, I think May Reaper, you kind of counted by the Pharah on its own. However, Titans, they seem comfortable with May Reaper. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like the strat is better here for Nixel. I think you can run McCree and stuff, but this is most likely what Titans have practiced. And that's why they run it. Bumper 1 HP. Did he go in 1 HP? That shield was way too passive. Let's see, Bumper. Okay, so he's playing the corner here, that's fine. Then the Fortify is very unnecessary. Dynasty.
Manual renewing is feels bad TBH.
Thank you so much, Dynasty. Manual renewing. What do you mean renewing? Anyways, thank you so much for the sub. So, Fortify unnecessary here because Hook is gone. Meko used it. 6 seconds. Bumper should pay attention. And you have a shield. Oh, you manual reduce. Oh, I thought you meant like Emmanuel. Like my name is Emmanuel, but for some reason I thought it was like a typo. Anyways, thank you so much, man. So shield used kinda weird to the side here. Like that shield should come out earlier instead of Fortify. So because he put out that shield, he's not forced back. Let's see, next shield. Way too passive again. I think Bumper is kind of weak on Orisa. Then he gets hooked in. You see, he's playing alone on Orisa. He's not really thinking much. Then there's Mayult, double Mayult. Flower dead. Mercy was dead, so he couldn't get pocketed. Yeah, and everyone dies. Okay, let's go next point. Oh, bit too far. So barrage while there's a wall. That's fine. Nice sleep. Titans kinda just Wing here. They have to disengage. Fire is really good on defense if you hold the chokes. Then go main. Main is way more difficult than... yeah, this is the reason why main is difficult. A massive wall. Well, it becomes a massive wall because you wall off one person, two people. And then you kinda just Hail Mary or whatever you say with the coalescence. Bumper dead. What else do you expect? Then Mayult. That catches Mano. Oh, he didn't have Fortify. And no people can die for Titans now. Mayult coming out. Kills one. This could be enough to stop. Yeah, Flower kills Haxel, but then he's dead. Man on Rhine. Does Libor have ice block? He doesn't. But there's a wall, luckily. Oh, and Siomisu tried to escape there. And now the hold point. Bumper's gonna have to switch. Has Nixel ever beaten Titans? No. And this is last fight. That punch is viable. I don't think Flower needs to uppercut though. That's just muscle memory uppercut. It delays him even more. And this is, yeah, over for G. Yeah, this is GG's. Well done by Nixel. Yeah, let's see. Background comp. Oh, you see Hurek is in now as well, because Hurek can play Hanzo, he can play Widow. He doesn't do well on Sombra though. I think Hurek also has been performing better than Stitch in scrims. He has been popping off more, sort of, you know, like Rascal over other DPS players for shock. That kind of approach. Flower on Hanzo with Libra on May. Makes sense. I think it's a bit weird to see this setup from Nixel. Because if you look at Hurek, he's gonna be able to... Wait, can we even see? Oh, he can't see. No. Okay, so this is a setup for the orb. Let's see Haxal then. Actually, this is fine. The thing I was worried about is this angle between the legs of the statue, where you can get sniped. And there you see, that's the orb. setup that I was talking about. Shield was broken, Flower gets kill on Haxal instead. And because Haxal is dead, that's almost GG's. Now Hurek is dead because of an orb, and that should be point win. Flower decides to... No, he doesn't decide anything. He wants the orb there. He walks up. He gets scouted. And then he doesn't have the lunge. So we can't escape orb hook. Yeah. That's a good punish. Mano shouldn't back out here. He should absolutely not back out. He should play line of sight with the pillar instead. And sure, he can get hooked. Sure. If there was a hook. There's no hook because Flow was hooked. And you want to threaten point. You still want to shoot shield. And because he falls back, their hog can't walk up. And this is time bought for Hanzo and Mei coming back. That's a good hook. Good thing Mano went forward there. And then the aggressive shield off the wall was gone. So even though Mano is dead, this is winnable for Nixel. It's equally winnable for Titans. It depends on if Hurek gets picks or not. Actually, it's not equally winnable. Significantly less winnable for Titans. Alright, so second point. This is all about high ground. Who controls tank, then who controls the middle part of the bridge, and then who controls this bridge. Every bridge is a point of interest. Mano dying. He dies because, yeah, he goes outside of the shield. This is what I'm talking about, chat. Individual decisions that are weak. If you want to shield kite as, how to say, Orisa, you don't stick your head out this much. You only stick out your head to be able to shoot. So like, right, let's say right, you know, but my camera goes out of, yeah, out of frame here, but it's by the middle of your screen. You just have to kite outside. And this is just way too late of a reaction, so easy death, easy kill, and that shuts down your push. Now, if you were Nixel and you didn't die with Mano, you don't have to greed, you don't have to go aggressive, but you, like, let's say that you don't die. Nothing happens. Then you will be able to hold this corner here, and you can have a Hanzo in the back shooting. Now, Flower getting a kill on Hurek is massive, but he's gonna die. Then hook on hog. Yeah. Just pick off the pick. But like Flower made the right decision. Mano didn't. It's fine to trade with Hanzo. Mei ult is used, doesn't gain anything. Here, imagine that you're Libero. We're gonna pretend we're Libero. I don't know how to speak Korean, but you say whatever you say. There's a how to say dragon ult with an orb, and we can see under the cart, right? We can see everything under the cart, and then we check out the Mei ult. And I think the Mei ult is only to kill Haxel. Why not just wall him? Like this. No idea. I don't think the melt was necessary at all. It doesn't catch anyone. It can stop people from going in and helping Haxel. Actually, if you think about it, this is the minimum required value of a melt. Just one important kill. You can get more kills, of course, if you save it or whatever. And in the game, you can't really see the future. So I see why he used the melt. I don't think it was necessary, because you can secure the kill without melt. And then you also have to expect, okay, because there was a dragon in main, this whole lane was filled up by the dragon. Obviously, people are not going to be there. So it's going to take a few seconds for them to run back. Mei has no ice block, and we can kill her. But yeah, that's my perspective. It doesn't have to mean it's the best one. Or the way that the players would think. Then Mei was orbed. Ice block, she falls down. That's unfortunate. The way you deal with this is you ice block before the orb. If we can see it here. Yeah, you have to orb it before. Oh, no, 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 no. He's jumping, isn't he? So that's why. Yeah, I think he's jumping. That's nothing you can, how to say, predict though. But because you're jumping, even if you ice block now, you're gonna lunge all the way over. You have to be like standing on the ground. Or actually, you can orb. No, 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 you can orb it that early. Definitely. Because then that cancels the Saki. So Libero dies, traded with Jono. And this is better for Nuxel than it is for Titans, of course, because of Shield, the Hoggold, and the Trance. Now it's not though, because Huri killed Flower. The Bongos was fine. Window 2. Window was necessary. Now you have to clear out high ground. Important flank from, well, not important, but normal flank from Flower. Counter to Dragon. Then window to force them off completely. So I haven't seen scrims or anything. I'm just going off, you know, what I see in matches. But Dragon is higher priority than, no, lower priority in terms of, okay, this is how important this ult is compared to window. So you can use the Dragon to force people off. If that doesn't work, then window. But you want to save the window as much as possible. Obviously, because it's double damage. So there's not as many combos with Dragon by Nixel. That's what I mean. And then no Mayalt, very hard to keep space. Now, why don't you push in as Nixel? Since the Mei is dead, I think you should aggress here. Mount is breaking in line of sight for main, and also, actually you can't aggress, I guess. Libero doesn't have a wall, so that makes sense. And then you lose the fight. because of John. Unfortunate. Okay, bongos, you disengage. It's normal to disengage because, yeah, why even take the fight? You trade cooldowns. Then flower hooked, orb hook. Did he have lunge? Or, yeah, whatever it's called. Maybe Nyx are not even calling out orbs. Or like, they don't have a plan about, or how did I say, not plan about, but a default plan for orbs. ESW, welcome. Oh, that's just a coincidence. Oh, yeah, that's definitely a coincidence. Because Hurek didn't have Sonic. It's impossible that they knew. Unless... No, it's impossible that they knew. They probably just wanted to hook here for the corner and then saw the string, so they pulled. By accident, killed Flower. Then orb and hook on Hog. Immortality field used far forward, which means... Yeah, gotta be careful here with the Mayolt. Then Bumper dies. Didn't have anything. Let's see Bumper's perspective. Oh. Yeah. He can't walk out there because of the wall. Now, why would you shield here? This is the correct choice. And then the quickest way to break line of sight is this corner. If he would go indoors, he would be chased. So he's dead regardless of what happens, actually. Good catch there with the wall by by Libero, I mean. Dragon doesn't catch anyone. Hurik just dies. That's a very ambitious dragon, actually. I wanna see. Okay, they Sonic then, they don't see anything. Oh, it's just a set play with the orb. Yeah, good escape by Nixel. Then orb plus dragon. A bit misaligned on the dragon, that's whatever though. And Titans, they have to die on point or win the fight. Twilight just popping off here, wait. What? He gets a nade kill, that's fine, that's normal. Watch this. Nano, cool. Oh, he kills Libero by mistake. And then... wow. This is stuff you can't factor in. This is just on-the-fly thinking. Man. It's just being clutched by Titans. Then they break the wall to try and help John. Anna setting up for the nade. That's a good nade. Completely stops backline from entering. And the trance wasn't even necessary. And everyone is dead. Cool. Let's go next. So Titans just winning an important fight. Happens to be the last fight. Like, they have good reaction time with bumper sack on flower and second point. Then Twilight with the nade. Or nades. What else? You have a good patience. Like most teams would instantly think, okay, reset down payload or whatever, when it technically is a lost fight. I like that Titans go for the more, how to say, not gamble, it's not necessarily gamble, but they extend the limit, or how to say, for how they have a different limit for how late you can contest card. So I'm just gonna go through this before first point. So they die with bumper when cart is over here, and cart can technically push until it's on this corner, and then you have to reset, because then you're gonna have a choke fight here. So there's like a limit for the cart, how far it can go while respawning. And yeah, I guess why not try? Why not try and clutch out the fight here? Because it makes no difference compared to waiting here and waiting for the cart to get into a better position. So that's just smart by Titans. Nyxol to play a poke comp. That's a good orb hook. Nice kill on Haxal. Yeah, you have to watch out for the small how to say, small angles here where the arrows can go. Like you can shoot through you can even shoot through these small gaps here. I think like Overwatch is really forgiving with shooting through small holes and stuff. So Rappel kills Mano. Why is that? Oh yeah. Another thing. Mano used his fortify. Oh, and shield dies. Then orb hooked. Oh, that's just bad decision making by Mano. And because you have no Risa, you have to go off point. You have to try and find some hook, pick. Both Immortality feels dead. Meko survives, Libero and Flower dead though. So that's point over. And then, yeah, I think the retake was unnecessary because that's all charge given and also positions. Very easy to get snowballed and picked on second point while running away. Flower dying due to a hook. I think it's fine to position up there though. You rely on your Risa. The thing is, you won't have a diva to eat. It is actually better for... Let's think about this. Usually you would have an Orisa down here contesting cart or whatever. You have Batiste in the back. somewhere. You have May close. May can be here even. Then you can have a hog here even, or hog here. And you play for the corner and the pillar. Then you have Hanzo on high ground. However, they probably couldn't take positions with Orisa walking forward. It's already too late to drop. And when the May is this close to the corner, I think May has to be up here. Enemy May, attack May. Otherwise you get walled off as the Orisa, or you're forced to hold behind the corner. But even if you're holding the corner here, you get frozen and then you have no way to break out of us easily. And it's very difficult to heal you once you start playing under the roof. So that's why they have the high ground position. Mano's shield is just terrible though. Right now. The window doesn't help. Oh, and also Flower. Yeah, okay, never mind. Never mind, this is not Mano's fault. This is Flower's fault. He's holding W when he's jumping forward, so... Okay, he jumps into the hook. And then you pop bongos and hog ult in order to survive this. Or how do you say, not survive, but push them back. And Haksal, he's so tiny, he's so small. So small, or yeah, small. So he's just crouching, pushing payload. This is a great push. This is the equivalent of just one fight out of the window. Bumper dies, whatever. You have to disengage as Titans. There's no point in staying. You're just wasting time. I have no idea what Toilet is doing. Oh well, he's trying to get a pick here. I don't think it's necessary, but he was stuck, so you might as well try. Dragons traded. Cool. Immortality fields too. Then defensive wall used. Oh, because of the defensive wall, you have a free engage. And also window. Was wall necessary? No, wall was definitely not necessary. Because of the shield from Orisa. And yeah, so now you have nothing for the wall, for the window. And you're dead. Mano picked off, he didn't have a shield. What else can you do? Libero picked off, was in May ult. So Nyxel just misplaying individually. This could be because, well, obviously it's communication issues. But also because, well, they have communication issues because they don't know what's the most important. Like shield or wall. And what to expect, like what to use the wall for, what to use the shield for. Or they already know, but they can't use that info in the moment. Over getting overwhelmed so they can't analyze or whatever. Then, let's see, Jonu dies. Could that be Maywald? No, it's not Maywald, because you blocked the window. So they try to catch people here because of knowing there's no wall. And Jonu goes for the right thing. He goes for the hook on Meko. Meko doesn't get hooked though. So yeah, Jonu did everything he could. Flower dying after, that's whatever, because John is already dead. So you have 3.5 minutes here as well. You have Hoggolt, Mayolt used, and Dragon. Bumper dead. Dragon is a bit too much, in my opinion. Because there's no point in Dragon if you have a Mayolt. Well, you get kills, of course, but you don't need the kills. So for next fight you have Nano, Window, and Bongos. That's enough. That's a great hook. Wasn't walled off by Haxal at all. I don't think he was in position for it either. Let's see. No, he should have walled this off. This should have been a wall. 100%. Easily. No, wait, what? Okay, so they didn't see Hog, and that's why it didn't wall. Oh. Yeah. So he didn't wall here because don't expect a hook. And instead you're focused on the reloading and like finding good angles, shooting, whatever, freezing. Ah, that's sloppy by Titans, good by Nixel. I want to go back again here. Is that sloppy by Nixel too? Because they didn't go for the orb hook or something else? Okay. Okay, wait. No, it looks coordinated. Oh, it is actually coordinated. I think they're trying to bait the wall. Yeah. Mekko has a clear... Like, when he's focusing on the hook, he's focused on the hook. Right there, he wasn't. Since it wasn't a goal. Then he misses the easiest hook of his life on Haxal sleeping. You see Bumper trying to keep Haxal alive there with Fortify. Maywall. Also, I think because of the orb, Maywall is assisted. May ult him in. No. It's already out by the time he gets sucked. That's a good engage. Yeah, and they back off. Let's see what else can they do. Nothing. Well done by Tyrants. Okay, next map 4, Havana. So right now it's 2-1 to Titans. Nixel, they're gonna win this map, and then it's gonna be Lijiang as well. Yeah, let's look at the positions. I need to grab some water first before we start. Like, I'm out of water. BB chat. Yo, what's up again? Sorry for the delay. Okay. So PokeComp. Let's see if Nyxa switches. They don't. PokeComp versus PokeComp. Makes sense to have Ann on defense here as well because you have a high ground advantage for Nates. Stitch also in over Hureg. I wonder why Stitch is in over Hureg here. Oh, that's because of Widow. For third point. Widow is very necessary. But then why would Hureg be in over Stitch? For third map? Not sure. So, until someone gets a pick, you know, it's just Orb Hook versus Orb Hook. There you go, first Orb Hook comes in. What's up, Aiko? Nice wall. And a hook. Boom. Dead. But then Meko dies. A Stitch traded. You have Libero from behind. Ready with an... yeah, with a wall. All coordinated. You see, like, Nyxel has some set plays. Like, they definitely try to win. But it's... I'd say it's... individually they're weak. They said everyone was getting playtime, so I guess that's why they rotate all sports. Oh yeah, well, would you say that it, so I think it makes sense, you know, all get playtime, but also because you don't want to give away why you sub in people. Like, if you actually want to get like sub in Stitch over Hureg because of Widow, I don't know. I think Stitch is in over Hureg because he's a better Widow. But if that's the reason, then when you go into playoffs 2 weeks later, enemy teams will know, okay, when Hureg is in, he's not going to be on Widow. But yeah, you're right. If they win or lose this match, it doesn't matter. But I can see that they just give playtime too. Makes sense. Bumper hooked there. Wait, was he hooked? I didn't clearly see. But for Nyxel, this is a must win. Oh, Bumper just feeds. And then hook onto Jono. Nano plus, oh, that's a good nade. The trance was very preemptive. Nade wasn't even over. That's a solid mailed. Getting a Jono, that's an important pick. Also because no one can contest. Other than Jono. You see, they slowly like push the cart with the help of Flower here on the flank. While pressuring this side. Left side. Excelsior was already confirmed second due to the being division leaders. Yeah, but it's not about the leaders or anything. It's about this stigma that they are sandbagging and that they are underperforming. You know, they want to crush those rumors, so to say, or like opinions. And that's why I think it's an important match, because a lot of their players went out into interviews saying, okay, we played really bad, we think we can do better, we want to do better. So that's why I think they try quite a lot here. That was a nice attempt for Orb Dragon, by the way. The high ground is super strong for Hanzo here. You see, you block the Ana completely, and it makes it very difficult for the front line to hold here. So that's why window plus nano is used to compensate. Mayult comes out around the corner. That's a weird Mayult. Was that scouted in some way? So they have Sonic on the thingy here. No, Sonic is gone. I don't know why they throw out the Mayult here. Unless it's because they... no, they didn't track Fortify. You see, that Mayult was completely blind. No idea why it was out. Flower getting a pick on Stitch, that's good. Then nade on Flower. The front line can take care of itself while you have bongos and stuff up. And then you have Anne on the side. Orb hooks missed. It's a skill matchup between Hanzos of who gets high ground there. Maywall, nice with bongos. That should be... That's a long stall for Haxal. That's gonna buy them another fight. And here's why. That can be a hook. However, Bumpy used the Fortify there. Oh, he's deleted. A Rappel... Oh, yeah, he used Immortality Field on high ground too. Nyxel just using every ult to cap. Why would you use trance there? Oh, Jonik is afraid of dying, that's why. He's simply afraid of dying. No. Well, he's afraid of dying, but it also helps the team. Obviously, because it makes Tyrants disengage. Or want to disengage, inclined. Then all you do here is try to get some picks while they leave. At that point, shouldn't he be? No, yeah, I mean, there's an alternative because Mano is dead, Rappel is dead. You're pretty much guaranteed the win on the fight there. Because if you look at Trance, it didn't do anything. Here. So Bumper dead. Oh, actually, never mind. Rappel wasn't killed until after the trance. So that makes sense. No. Yeah, he had trance. Actually, he had actually 2 trance. That makes sense. You're right. 100% right. Since if... Let's say that you don't know if Rappel is dead or not. It's very likely, you know, your Hanzo dies to their Hanzo, whatever. And then you lose the fight. Can Maywall block trance healing? Yeah, it can. Any line of sight break, including shields, breaks trance. Very far Mayult. And I think this ult was intended to trap Mano. It didn't trap Mano at all though. So now you lost that completely. Bumper dead by Flower, or killed by Flower. I don't understand why Bumper wants to stand out in the middle there. Let's see Bumper's perspective. What does this shield do? I'm not sure. There's no point in standing in the middle. More than the shield. I guess it gives good angles. Maybe he just wanted to cross, and that's why. Because you can't use Fortify to cross, since Orb Hook will come afterwards. Mana killed by Stitch. Flower, that's a nice flank by Flower, pushing down Grapple. Helps Libero as well. Really well done by Nixel. Just killing Bumper alone, or like Bumper dying alone so much, completely messes up Titans. Let's go for the defense. Same thing applies here. You just look for picks. It has started to be normal to have someone up into a house here, like a Hanzo or Mei. And that's for either walls or headshots or whatever. You see, Stitch doesn't expect Libero, ends up dead. Then Bumper hooked. Yeah, wait. How did he die here? Oh, yeah, Fortify. Okay, so after Fortify has been used and your shield has been used as well. Now, because Orb has a lower cooldown than Fortify, or well, the Orb is going to come online before the Fortify. You see here, 1 second versus 7 seconds. You gotta play really, really careful with the Orisa. You can't go forward like this. Bumper is... This is 101, like Orisa... How to say, Orisa versus Orisa matchup stuff. Shield died. Oh, it's because Shield dies, actually. Never mind, he was careful. I didn't observe it well enough. Yeah, he was careful. And it just happens to be less than a second left on the Fortify. Just bad timing. Or how to say, unlucky timing, I mean. It didn't do wrong there. There's so many individual counters for the hooks here. Nice Mei as well. No one is reacting to the Mei here from Jonu. Like, no one is reacting. Now they start reacting. So maybe Jonu didn't even say anything about the Mei. Or it was overruled. Counter called. But it loses them the fight. Since you lose versus the Mei there if you get frozen. Now they clear out, that's good. You see, Haksal, he's like, guys, If you don't do this, I'll be the one. I'll take the job to clear out. That hook, nasty. And then standard, you push in with the ult. Shield was slightly off position, and he was yeah, just in the open there with Discord on him. Mano couldn't escape either. Actually, could Mano have escaped? I think Mano might have body blocked Mecha. So Mecha was orbed. Oh yeah, he was body blocked. He definitely was body blocked by Mano. Well, shit happens, you know. Mano, he should be breaking LOS with this corner, not here. I mean, it's fine. You can body block, or I mean, not body block, I mean break that LOS there. But it's safer to fall back like this with this one, because otherwise you die. Well, eventually you die. And if you fall back to the green room there, or like thingy, kiosk, then you can shield here, and you can back out and you can retake. Libro dead. John dead. Then there's the Mei ult. Oh yeah, Haxal was all dead there. He was orbed into there. Stitch dead. So yeah, Stitch, he took that wide angle in order to be able to push cart. The Mano got in front of the cart. This is a nice retake by Nyxel. John dying early on in the stairs was unfortunate. Yeah, walled himself and died to dragon. And then there's the dragon, hook. Anemo dead. This should be a win for Titans when you look at this. Actually shouldn't, because of the Mei in the back. Mano's nanoed, he's safe. Hog is in the back there. Flower coming from high ground. Mano making a mistake here though. He's going super aggro. Doesn't have fortify. Gets frozen and killed. So, Nyxel could have won this. By not holding W. So instead of holding W, you take a wider angle instead. Just a wider angle so you play out of range for the Mei. Or you go to the side here. Avoid the shield. Or you can go in front of the shield too. No, same thing. But yeah, they lose the fight here because of yeah, not getting the picks in the back line, and then shield blocking all the damage from the front line. Still very good hold by Nyxel so far. Libero setting up for the flank in the blue house, whatever. Being annoying. And we have a Sonic. Let's see, normally we contest here. That's a long Mei ult. And you can tell by the distance of the Mei ult that they expect to push hard here. Or it's called to push hard. And Excelsior, they simply don't have anything to deal with this. There's no trans. And everyone is split. Yep. Super aggro Mayolt winning the point in one fight. That's a strong Mayolt. Mayolt plus Orb. Dragon was not necessary. Because the push is already won. Then Stitch killing Libero. That trance was necessary though, because of aggression with Mano. Nano Hog is just nasty. It's just so much damage. Then you can use Window. Window would... I don't think Window was used to kill. It's more used to... how to say... stop the cart. You basically touch from a distance. Since they have to back off. Another dragon. That's a strong ult. An extremely strong May ult. Because everyone is grouped up here. Normally, you back up here like this. But that's also stopped by the dragon. So regardless of where Nixel would be positioned, they would all die. Or have to fall back and reset to contest here. Last point. Or last corner. Then a snipe on Rappel. That's game winning. And then because everyone dies at 20 seconds left, it's GG's, yeah. 10 seconds to respawn, and then 5 seconds to get back. Bumper tried to touch. Let me show you this. When I watched live, this was so close. Okay, he's coming back. Contested. And it's contested before 4 seconds. So the overtime doesn't trigger. And it's GG's. It wouldn't have changed anything. But still. Well done by Nixel. Tyrants, they kinda screwed up on first point, wasting so much time. So when they got into second point, they didn't have a large time bank. They had to blow a lot of ults. Then for third point, they were pushed back, of course. But they essentially can't lose any fight. After, well, they can lose 2 fights in the start. Sort of like 2 fights, or 1.5. I would say 2. And then going into the third fight, they have to win every fight afterwards as well. Okay, so Li Zhang. Okay, so both teams TP'd. Good wall by Tyrants. That's a nice wall just to get into point. Then, since Siamisu was walled off, Fade was necessary. You see, Siamisu is in now instead of Stitch or Hurek as well. Let's see here. It's all about who uses their abilities first, like Fade, Ice Block, everything. Siamisu coming in from the back tries to, I guess, get a kill. Well, not get a kill, but force something to happen. Because yes, he's Fade. And same thing with Nane. That wall. That wall on Mano was huge. That wall was huge. Because if he doesn't back out, he's dead. If he tries to escape, well, he has to get heals and stuff. And that's how Jonik was in position to die. Okay, rotation indoors, that's in order to avoid Reaper and stuff. Reaper going in behind. He gets walled off by his own teammate, by the way. There's nothing you can do here. You simply can't do anything about your own teammate's wall. It's just a really bad wall by Libero. And then very bad position by Jonik. So they were all walled in here. He's coalescing. Or coalescing. Couldn't he be positioned further back though? Oh yeah, Jonah could definitely be positioned further back. I guess he's not thinking much. Because what do you expect from a Mei wins by holding close like this and freezing around the corner, while a Moira, this is how you decide line of sights. You just go for the angles like this. Obviously you have the wall in the way, of course. But you gotta watch out for the Mei. Very aggressively? I would say very recklessly. Aggressive is proactiveness, or like being proactive, doing things before, how do you make the first move. Reckless, standing out here is not aggressive, that's reckless. You can be aggressive by coalescing back here as well. It's the same thing. Sort of like driving, like you can drive aggressively and you can bike aggressively. But driving aggressively is not more, how to say, yeah, I guess you get the difference. Because this is more about game knowledge for Jonik, I think, rather than aggressiveness or defensiveness. Okay, nice melt. I think the wall there. Let's see. So wall on half of the team. Nane, fade. Sumisu uses his Reaper ult. Okay, so you lose Anemo, Nane, Slime Bomb. Oh. Yeah, the wall breaks here and then they come in and do more damage. Okay. Has Nixel been trying to push this Reaper May composition for control? They have, yeah. I guess, but more ain't exactly known for her damage. No, what do you mean known by her damage? Oh, you mean in response to the Bloodthirsty support? I just think it's him not being used to playing more, and like there's like outside of the game, I don't doubt like he knows exactly how to play more and stuff, but in the game you don't have the same how to say, you don't recall information in the same way as you do outside of the game. So I think that's where the players fall short. Okay, so quick cap after winning that fight, then setting up outdoors. That's fine. You set up outdoors because you can kite back and yeah, you just have shield set up first. Nice kill on Bumper. Yeah, I don't know how he dies. He shouldn't die like that. You should put the shield in front, actually, here, because it's very unlikely Enorisa is going to contest forward. And then it's just chilling, taking tons of damage. Speaking of which, why are off healers playing Moira? That's because Lucio is way more mechanically demanding than Moira. You want the Lucio player to be consistent, so to say. It's mechanics and also thinking on Lucio. So it's just easier to have the flex support on Moira. So Coalescence used to make space. Space is made. But then there's a Reaper ult coming in. 2 kills is more than enough. Alright, let's see next fight. This is the last fight. In Titans, they have Bomb, Sumisu ult coming up. Libero has, well, they have everything except Beat and Death Blossom. So now you just have to deal with Matrix, making sure that you get your May ult out. Sending out May ult during Bomb, that's a normal thing, because yeah, there's the Matrix. That's a good wall. And because of the May ult, people get frozen if they walk in. And that's how they win. Cool. Let's go for next round. So May Reaper versus May Reaper. Nyxo, they have an aggressive positioning here. The thing is, their Zen is in, well, Zen is positioned fine. Their Orisa gets walled off. What will happen here? This should be fine. They're actually completely fine. I think Libero is wasting time though. Doesn't it make sense to give the main support, who usually is the shot caller, the least demanding character? No, because Slime has been playing Lucio for months and months and months and months, and it's impossible for Twilight or for Jonak to learn Lucio at the same level. Like, they're gonna feed on Lucio super hard. You might as well take any player from the crowd, put them in on Lucio, and get the same results pretty much. It's that bad. You want the Lucio because of how to say, speed and in general? No, not really, because the you don't have one shot caller. You have everyone helping with shot calling. But the Lucio, whoever plays the Lucio, they should be able to use this wall riding. They should know exactly all the matchups, when to beat, when to heal aura, when to speed aura, when to boop, who to boop, everything like that. That's your individual stuff. And you will have that type of demand on any hero. Now, playing Moira, you're gonna have the same thing. Like, you're gonna have orbs, you have to bounce orbs, you have to think about Matrix, you have to think about Fade, you have to think about your positioning, your healing cone, so to say. That's demanding as well. And it's easier for the flex support to pick Moira, since you always want the Lucio with May and Reaper. But Nyxo, for example, they want to switch to Zen. But if Jonak is on Lucio, is Anima gonna go Zen then, if he doesn't play Zen? So that's why. But yeah, let's see. So, Libero wasting time because he can't help him wall. He's flanking for no reason. And now Mano is forced off. And they're giving away a really good point position with the team because of this flank. And now even if he goes for the wall, it doesn't do anything. I mean, even if he goes for the freeze, it doesn't do anything. And you see, now Libero is getting pushed. The Reaper is getting pushed. Elysian, thank you so much. Welcome. And then you have Mano being pushed. And in order to gain back control here, they have to group up for main and push out like this. Everyone shot calls. It's more like you have everyone helping, like giving information and stuff, and then you have by nature people who are like the most charismatic person in the team. Like you always have one person who just has that vibe, you know. Okay, I'm a bit more of a leader type of person than this person, that person, but person, yeah, the third person or whatever after them, they might be more, they might be less, who knows. And you just go by natural order, so to say. That's how you teams do it, because you don't have enough time to shot call alone in a watch here. There's not enough time. Also because you can't see everything. Like if you're slime here, how do you shot call this from this angle? Like you gotta break line of sight and stuff, and like, yeah, it just makes more sense to have split it, so to say, so that if you're main tank, you keep tabs on the main tank, and then you can feed the information, you have some set plays, etc. And when it comes to the last call, then you obviously have someone, usually the main tank. In Tyrants, I think it's Bumper, I'm not sure if it is. In Excelsior, I don't know, but it's usually the main tank because they control the space, push or pull back. And you don't counter call each other either. But usually also make plans before the fights so that you have a rough idea what you're supposed to do when the fight starts. And then everyone has their own role or job. But yeah, because you give up this position with the Mei, that's an easy fight for Titans. Then Orb. That's fine. I think Nyxel being countered by the Moira instead of running Zen, I mean. Like the Zen is fine, and it forces you to be defensive. But I don't know how much they gain from using the Zen over an Ana if they don't want Moira. And then you see like two off angles. There's the freeze. He didn't have ice block. And because of no ice block, couldn't use ult. And if he would try to use ult, that would be eaten by John easily. And here the issue is, Nyxel, they're not setting up for the Mei ult. How would you set up for the Mei ult then? Well, I think you would keep running the Mei. You would keep running the Mei with the Moira. No, not Moira, but the Orisa to the right side of the pillar. Libero, Nanamin has the right idea here. This is the positioning you want, because you block LOS with this sign. But instead, Libero is over here by the stairs with Meko. Yeah. Does not work. I think Meko can be there alone. He does not have to be here. Let's see, next fight. TP comes in. And then TP in the back. You have Lucio to peel. And then Matrix to help. Cool. I think Meko might be a bit too early on the Matrix because he ends up getting frozen. Since you only want to Matrix so that Nenny can, how to say, waveform out. and then you can boost out yourself so you don't get frozen. But it's a small window, I think, so it might not even be worth looking at it. It's like cherry picking. Then this is a sick bomb. It's a tricky bomb because you don't know if it's gonna land here, here, or in front of you, or above you. And that's how they win point. Cool. Let's go next. So team play is a lot more individual than I've been told. In teams I've been, there is always one guy who decides plan composition before fights. Yeah, that's how to say, the shot caller. But then you have the target caller, and like everyone helps at the same time. Like in slower games like Counter-Strike, you can have one person doing the shot calling, like even mid fights. But here you simply can't, because if you gotta dodge widows while skating as Lucio or whatever, it's the same thing as playing Tracer and calling at the same time. So usually you have individual decision making during fights based on your plan. And then before even playing the match, you have studied the opponents, you have some like game plan, you practice in scrims. That's why you play scrims. You flank by Shimizu. Here, same thing as normal. Usually you do play around abilities, who gets fade out, ice block out, walls, etc. Fade used very early on here, which means now you can try to aggress as Nixel. You see freeze coming in. These freezes can be really, really nasty for Nixel. For Titans, I mean. The Mano getting a bit aggressive going forward here in front of the wall. Oh, in front of the corner, gets walled off. It wouldn't have mattered actually, would have still died. Even if it was behind it. The mech killed. So, Nixel, how do you lose this? Okay, there's the wall. There's a Reaper in the backline. Coming in for free. But Manu wants to contest point because otherwise they cap it. And then it gets killed by the Mei. And then we have Jonak not healing. Yeah, I think it's just awareness that's off for Titans in this fight. Oh, Haxal almost helped by Manu, by the way. Let's see, Boop's coming in. This is what I mean, you want the Lucio to be able to do his plays. So that's why you can't have only Lucio shot calling. Because then while he's thinking, it's gonna be like choking or bottlenecking when he's wall riding and going for his plays. Because you have to tunnel vision for a brief moment on the timing for the Boop. And angle. That Mei wall is super good. Mei ult, I mean. Now Libros Mei ult. That's great. Very nice stall here. Alright, so 56%. Not too bad. Not too bad. Next up, this fight, I remember this one. They're gonna try to wall off Haxal here, or they do wall off Haxal, then Bomb is coming in and the Reaper ult too. Okay, Haxal walled off. And Meko sends out in his bomb. And I think the reason for the bomb is because they call for Death Blossom plus bomb. But Tyrants, they just don't walk in. Bump is like, you know, the typical bumper face. I don't know what bumper face he makes, but yeah, they just don't walk in. Because there's a bomb and wall is not out yet, or off. So the timing was a bit too early, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I think timing counted, no idea. But this is a common combo to do, like Reaper ult plus Diva ult. And then Siomisu is on point, shooting from behind. And then target focus is gone. Once you lose Nene, you have no damage almost. Jonak about to die here. Mech lost. This fight is a must-win fight. Because you use the ults, and now you're gonna get snowballed because you don't have ults. And you can lose, I guess, one neutral fight, or take a long neutral fight and then use a Mei ult. But otherwise you have to lose one fight usually, because enemies are gonna use ults too. There's the bomb, Mei ult of the D-Mech. And nice ult by Haxal. This is what I mean. They're gonna use their ults, so you basically set yourself up for failure if you lose this fight. Or you don't set yourself up for failure, because you never want to lose that fight, but you will lose, most likely because of yeah, how KOF works. It's the same thing with the first fight. If you win the first fight, you usually win the next couple 2 fights. 2 or 3 or 4 even. Yeah. You see, it's very difficult for Nixel to run in. They're desperately trying. And Titans win. So overall, I think Nixel looked a tiny bit better, but they are still looking really bad. And it's, I think, on an individual basis they look bad. The strat they have is fine. The execution, well, tactics, pretty bad. So they need more practice, more, you know, develop the game sense, tie game knowledge to, you know, build the muscle memory, is what I mean. So what's the verdict, Dr. Peak? Sandbagging or no? I don't think they are sandbagging. I think they're bad in this meta right now, and cover that with sandbagging. It's sort of like when I don't want to disrespect them and say they are simply bad or anything. It's more like you can see that they are struggling, they are doing bad. And it's more likely that they haven't practiced. Well, actually, if they haven't practiced on this patch for this meta, then technically, well, that's not sandbagging either. But that could be the reason why they are doing bad. Bakugan God. God, what's up, dude? So yeah. I think they have put more practice into the Sigma patch. I'd rather bet on that, actually. So I guess you're right with sandbagging. Yeah.